Welcome to Everyday Speed Bumps.
We are Valentina
and Andrea, and together we will dive into the unexpected pauses of our life journey.
So if you're navigating the twists and turns of life, join us as we share life stories and lessons from our everyday speed bumps.
But don't worry, there is always another speed bump ahead, but together we got this.
This is our episode number 8.
Yeah.
Number 8. And just so you know, we've been chatting for the last hour and a half, 2 hours about everything and anything except for the topic of the podcast. No, we touched around it a little bit.
We touched around it to
bit.
Set base on this.
Yeah, but today we're going to talk about a topic that could be either a joy or a nightmare for some, depending on your luck and your level of tolerance.
Yes. How you set boundaries, I think.
How you set boundaries. Mm-hmm. And it's living with roommates.
Roommates, flatmate.
Yeah, roommates, flatmates.
Friends, non-friends.
Friends, family, anything. I mean, because in the end, it's also living with people when you live at home with your family, right? So living with people.
Yeah.
And first, we're going to start just by giving you kind of like a timeline of the different moments in our life in which we've lived with other people. Yeah.
Okay. So I graduated from high school. Obviously I was living in my city with my family. I moved to 1 year to study in the US. I lived literally with a roommate, same room in the university as a freshman year, with a roommate for a year. Then I moved back to Colombia. For a year.
You're going to tell us more about that because I don't know how you can live with someone that's not your partner.
Yeah, in the same room.
And not your sister.
Exactly.
Like, it's different when it's your sister and you share a room. In the same room. With a stranger.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest thing ever. Okay, so we live in the same room. Then I moved back to Colombia. Then I moved to Bogota. And in Bogota, I lived with a friend. We started like as a friend, but now she's my sister, like one of my closest friends. And I lived with her for a couple of years. And then I moved when my sister graduated and moved to Bogota. We lived together. Oh my God, living with a sister, only with your sister. That's a big thing. And my sister, I love you, but you know. And then after that, I moved to London. And in London, first I lived in my dorm. And we were 5 of us. And then after that, I moved to a house with 2 girls, an English and a Spanish girl. Then after that, I moved with 2 guys. I lived with 2 guys.
That's crazy.
And then I moved again and I lived with an English girl. And then she left and now I live with an Indonesian girl.
So you've had a little bit of everything.
Yeah. It's like a big map.
I didn't know you lived with two guys.
Yeah. An Italian and a Greek guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I lived with my family. And then when I moved to London, I lived with my family.
Yeah.
In Venezuela, it's quite common that you live with your parents until basically when you get married or you move abroad.
Same.
Yeah. So I lived with my family. Then when I moved to London, I lived first with a Spanish girl, then with 2 Venezuelans and a Vietnamese. Then I moved to Jordan and I lived with a Canadian. Then when I came back, I lived with an English girl, British, then with an Argentinian, and now with my German partner. That's so weird to say partner.
Yeah, partner.
Because in Spanish it sounds horrible. Like it translates to mi pareja. And you would never...
No.
But if you say my boyfriend...
It's also like
it
a
sounds
friend.
Childish.
Yeah, no. And also here, boyfriend is a friend that is a male.
Yeah, so my German.
You're German.
And what do you think has been the most difficult thing about living with people?
Well, okay, with everyone is different. Like, it's all like different stories, but like getting to know myself and what I'm willing to tolerate and I'm not willing to tolerate. It's literally getting to know myself and trying to put myself under control. And it's different when you live with your sister, when you can literally shout at her and tell her, clean!
And she's always going to be your sister.
Yeah, and she's going to be always your sister. But with a flatmate or a roommate, you cannot say that. So you can say it in a most gentle way. So it's literally understanding yourself and trying to have self-control. That's for me is a lot. It was like having self-control and knowing what's important for me and some things where I'm willing to negotiate and some things that are for me like non-negotiables.
And that's quite tricky because most of the times when you move in with someone, it's a stranger.
Exactly.
Because you have obviously, first options, someone that you know or is a friend of yours. But in many places, you don't have any friends that live there.
Exactly.
Or your friends already have a roommate or,
when you move to
it's
London,
not possible.
Like when you move to London, you use a spare room or
Next option is a friend of a friend or someone that a friend knows. In many cases, none of the friends of your friends are looking for someone to live with. And I mean, you're not going to live in the streets, and sometimes the conditions are not given for you to live alone, or you just choose not to live alone. Then the next option would be to find someone with the qualities that you feel or you think. It's kind of like when interviewing for a job, but this time you're the recruiter. You're recruiting a roommate.
Or they're recruiting you.
Or they're recruiting you. And in both of those scenarios, it's quite difficult to fully know the person before you move in. They can give you some of their qualities. They can talk to you about themselves. You can meet up for a coffee, but you never truly know a person until you live with them. And that's when things get quite tricky because there's kind of like a luck factor. And it's weird.
Yeah. It's super weird.
It's weird because it's your home, and that's something that I struggled a lot, when I was first living with roommates. It's your home, the place where you feel safe, the place where you reset all your energy, where you do things your way, where you're supposed to feel comfortable. But then you're going into a place where there's the energy of another person. The other person's going to be there.
Exactly.
The other person's going to be doing life in the way they do it, which in many cases is different to the way you do things. And so I find quite difficult balancing those things and kind of adapting to that new dynamic.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel, or it has made me feel in the past, like I'm not comfortable at home.
It's like arriving to a place, literally the first day you are sleeping in the same house.
With a stranger.
Or in the case, in the same room with a stranger. It's like, oh my God, like, how can I go out from my room? Or here is like, what happened if I snore in the middle of the night? Or I want to sleep now, but she doesn't want to sleep. We have one room. That's what's happened with my roommate. And it was like so weird. That first night, like, oh my God, my pajama, like, it's just you trying to find yourself in that place and see, because there are things that you do by yourself, like in your own house that you want to, I don't know, walk alone, maybe like in panty and bra or whatever, and you cannot do it anymore.
Yeah.
Unless like you created after you created, but the first night is always super awkward. Super, super awkward.
It's awkward. It's awkward, especially when you're the person moving into the place, because they have their decoration. They have, things organized in the way they chose to have things organized. Like, you're not going to show up and move the cutlery from where it is. Or if they have, a hanger on the living room with all their coats, you're not going to hide it. For example, I don't like having, coats hanging in my living room. In general.
Yeah, but then
I had it in my first flat, and I couldn't move it because that was her thing. Or if they have a very strange decoration, I had a roommate that had like a Gothic clock in Roman numbers. Massive. It was massive.
Yeah, but how can you take it off?
I just couldn't. I had to look at it every single day. I was like, this is terrifying.
Panicking. Yeah. There are things that you are like, go to a place and you're like, okay, I'm living here and let's see what we can do.
And they kind of like clean a little bit of the space and they're like, that's for you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, thanks. I'm paying the same rent as you, but I just get that.
In the kitchen.
Let me put all my stuff in that drawer that you opened
In
for
the
me.
kitchen,
So,
it's like-
so nice of you.
In the kitchen. Oh yeah, that small thing is for you, literally, and you need to climb there because maybe the other person has already the ones that are like in the
Oh my
lower
God.
part where you can actually reach, and then you are like, okay, yeah, for me to take the rice, I need to take a chair, put on
And
top of
because
the
you're
chair.
new there, you want
You
to
can-
avoid conflict, and you're like,
Okay, perfect, thank you. You're so nice. No, you know what? Now that you say that, when I moved to the US, in my roommate, it was the same room space, and we were sharing the bathroom with the next room, so we were four doing the same bathroom. Issue was never the bathroom actually, but okay, I arrived from Colombia, first time living in another country, first time living by myself and with a roommate. Because, and I remember she had like some dolphins, like porcelain, like dolphins of decoration. I was like dying, Valentina, like literally dying, and they were horrible.
you just did the sound of a dolphin. Do it.
Like, I say it. Like, how do you do it with a dolphin? Like,
I don't know, but go.
okay, I want to try. But yeah, it's like, so she had like dolphins, and I was like, oh my God. Good thing is that she didn't speak Spanish. Her only language was English, so I was able to understand it. So I was able to talk in Spanish. And she wouldn't understand. So I was like saying, oh my God, those animals, calling to my family, to my friends. And I remember they were horrible, but I couldn't take them off because it was the same room for us. So I needed to see it all the time.
Well, I had a roommate that I moved to her flat. Like she was living there before. Her previous roommate left, and then I joined. I was in desperate needs of a flat, like a place to live.
Welcome to London.
So the way we split things out is that she had an ensuite with her room inside, the toilet inside of her room. And then I had the outside bathroom, and my room was separate from my bathroom. And every morning I would wake up to shower before going to classes. To my surprise, I couldn't shower because she was showering in my bathroom.
Why?
I don't know, but you know what's the
She
worst
has
part?
an ensuite. Why?
I didn't have the courage to confront her.
I know.
So until the day she left, she showered every morning in my toilet.
So why she couldn't shower in her toilet where she has an ensuite?
Then I understood why. Because after she left, I moved to her room.
Okay.
And then I got a new roommate that I loved. And she was on, like, I got the ensuite and she got the
other
outside one. She was showering in mine because she didn't have a shower. She only had a bathtub, but not with the head of the shower.
Oh, obviously she couldn't shower.
She couldn't. But I mean, when I moved to the ensuite,
You can put like a...
yeah, I was like holding it with my hand to shower.
Yeah, normal.
But I would have never in my life, like the idea of going to shower on my roommate's bathroom without her permission
That's so weird.
would have never crossed my mind.
That's so weird. No, you know what?
I don't know why. I was terrified of her. She was like this irreverent 35-year-old British girl, very, very British and empowered.
And then you are
and
right
I'm
from
like a
30,
little Latin American,
30.
like, yeah, shower. If you want to use my soap, go ahead.
You know what happened to me with that roommate? She was in the weekends, like she was also like a go-go dancer.
Oh my God.
She was in the
Interesting.
university. You know what's a go-go dancer?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, please Google it. She was a go-go dancer. So I was like, that girl, 18 years old, just graduated from high school in a small city in Colombia. Like, and then it goes like with a roommate that she was also a go-go dancer, and she had like a boyfriend, and she was like having like sexy conversations, and obviously I could understand everything. So I was like, what the it was horrible. Horrible. I remember every night that I'm
like reading an audiobook.
yes, and at that time it was BlackBerry pin. Oh my God, yeah, I can reveal my age. She was and I was like literally sending pins to all my friends saying like, oh my God, like she's having her sex conversations with her husband. I was like 18 years old. Nowadays, I will be like, hey, tell me, yeah, whatever, how was it? But yeah, when I was 18, I was like such an angel.
Yeah. There can be many moments where there's no personal space.
No.
You know, what if you're having a call with your grandma and that happens?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter at times, but it's not ideal that it's, you know.
Yeah, but we knew, like with one friend, I knew she was like with one flatmate. I knew she was like having like, for example, sexual relationship with her partner or whatever, because she put her TV, and it was like always like SpongeBob SquarePants, and I was like, I know what she's doing. And then the next day, I'm like, and she's like, yes, and she's like, how can you do it with SpongeBob SquarePants on the TV? Like she put like Disney. Or when I live with my
Trying to send the wrong signals.
yeah, or when I live with my sister. Oh my God. It was
But yeah,
like,
there are moments where your personal space is inexistent.
yeah.
But then I guess it's like you have two ways of building the relationship with that roommate. Either you distance yourself and you isolate yourself to the point where you don't want to be with that person in the living room at the same time.
Horrible.
So you're like, I get home, I can't be on the couch because she's there. I don't want to be in the same place. So you go to your room and then you're trapped in your room. You have all your meals in the room, like breakfast in the room, lunch in the room.
Has that happened to you?
With that girl, yeah, I did. I was like, I don't ever want to leave my room again. And
Let's
then when
say
I
that
heard,
girl-
let me tell you something. When I heard her, like when I would hear her lock the door, I was like, yes, time to go cook for my next 3 dishes that I'm going to eat in my room when she comes back. I felt like that's how, did you watch Toy Story?
Obviously.
You know, that
Yeah,
as soon
yeah.
as everyone left, the toys were like, woo, party time. Like, we can do whatever we want. That was me with that roommate. Like, I was like isolated. She left. Woo!
And at that moment, you were at uni. You were doing your master.
Yeah, that was right after I came back from Jordan.
Spare room.
Spare room. I was a victim of spare room.
Everyone.
But then on the other hand, you can make the most of it and make it a positive relationship.
Yeah.
And that's something I learned when I was living with the 2 Venezuelans and the Vietnamese. He would like cook pho for everyone, and we would get together to have like roommates dinner, eating his soup, and it would take him hours because it was like slow cooking.
Pho is a difficult thing.
Yeah. Or they would do nice things. Like I was new in London. So, you know, I didn't have like many friends or I didn't know much people. And whenever they had like a cool plan, going to a museum for a walk, for a coffee, anything, they would like knock on my door and be like, you want to come? And I find that so nice. And that's where when I discovered that it could be like a very disgraceful experience, but it can also be so constructive and bring so much positive things to your life to have a roommate.
Exactly. When I live with the one that was like a friend, and now she's like my sister, we were like twins, and living together, like we were in the same flat, and we were like always together, always. Like she was studying, we were both at university. We were in the same university. She was studying medicine. I was studying political science. But when both needed to go to the university, we were going together, coming back together. I was waiting for her. All the weekends, we had the same plans. If people texted me like to go to a party, they know I will always bring my +1, that is Shadia, and vice versa. And now she's literally one of my closest friends. But for that to happen, many things occur. For example, when I moved with her, before moving with her, when we were like not that friends, she literally told me, I am disorganized, blah, blah.
Shadia.
No, she's not like that anymore, but like she will tell. She's going to listen this because she never missed a podcast episode. And I was like, okay, yeah. Even her mom told my mom. And then I was like, okay, yeah, how bad can it be? And then I was like,
How
oh,
bad?
shit. And yeah, but she told me before. So I couldn't like, Or she even told me everything we do, go to the grocery shopping together. If you have everything in the fridge, doesn't matter if you buy it or not, the fridge is from both of us. We share it. So for example, if she was going, I don't know, to buy ice cream, she always was buying 2 ice cream. One for her, one for me. but everything was doing together. Like if I had an ice cream that I bought for myself and I just bought one, whatever, and then if she saw it, she can literally eat it because it was there. But those things were talked before I moved with her.
And that's important to set what's the like what are the rules in a way.
Did you
what's
always set
accepted,
it?
what's accepted and what's not accepted. And I learned that actually from when I lived with my brother, with my family.
I was like, when did you live with your
Well,
brother?
I mean, I live with my brother at home with my parents. But that guy, whenever I would like, I was craving something. So I would go and buy whatever I was craving. I was keeping it in the fridge. Turned around for a second, went back to the fridge, disappeared.
Really?
He was Pac-Man. Like he was eating everything
Santi!
that he found. And then the rule became that whenever it was something that was for me and no one else could eat it, I would have to like write it on the food. If you eat it, I kill you, literally. And that's how I learned. So now, I don't know if it's like a trauma from that, but whenever I moved with different people, I would always be like, you can use whatever you want. But whenever I brought something that was like, I want to eat it. I don't know. You go on a trip and you bring me a chocolate and I want to eat the chocolate. You know,
You put your name.
you gave me the treat. No, I would say like,
Hey.
mine. I'm
Do
that
you do
person.
it nowadays with Paul?
Yeah. You can confirm it. Sometimes I'm like, don't touch it. That's for me. Especially, I mean, healthy food is more expensive than normal food.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
fact. So, you know, he's not the healthiest person. And for me, it's like, you know, it's an investment on a certain type of food. You're going to use it for the wrong purpose. So you might as well just use the other option. Don't waste mine. Because then when I want it and I don't have any, it's sad.
Yeah, for me it was like,
Isn't it?
yeah, that makes sense. For me, it's like with Shadia, we were sharing that, and she literally taught me that part. Then when I lived with my sister, it was like it was deep. Yeah, it was kind of the same, but I was always like, Natalia, that is mine. And if she ate it, I was always like, Natalia. Like, it was always like a World War III, World War IV, World War V, and let it continue. But here in London, I never like with my they can take whatever they want, like if they want something, but like I do my own grocery shopping. Obviously, I eat in a really different way than the people that I've lived with, and but if they, I don't know, they're cooking and they need one egg and I have an egg, I was like, yeah, take it. Like I'm not getting.
But
that.
what if one day you're thinking, like you're at work and you're thinking about dinner and you're like, oh, I still have 2 eggs in the fridge, so I don't need to buy. I'm gonna have those 2 eggs. And then you get home and you don't have eggs.
I think I will be mad.
I mean, it's quite upsetting.
Yeah, but it's like
But also, it's like be
what you say.
coherent
Be coherent.
and know that if someone only has 2
eggs
of something left, don't
eat it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that all. Or like I always like maybe like I take it and I go later and I replace it, but
Exactly, and that's
mainly
fine.
with eggs, but no, not with eggs because I always have like thousands of eggs because I eat eggs every day.
Ooh.
Hopefully it was that
Chinazo!
one. No, but yeah, but okay, but with roommate, there's another thing like okay, that part of personal property. You know what happened with my roommate? Like that roommate. One day I arrived. I was like working, like doing my like a project of the university in my laptop normally, and then I went out, and I literally like closed my laptop and I went out. I was like, okay, I'm coming back and I'll finish the project. Normal. This was my laptop. Nothing weird. I arrived and I was like, oh my God, all the windows are closed. This is weird. I don't find the project that I was working on, that document. And I was like, this is not normal. This is like literally not normal. Then I went on like Safari, whatever, and then I looked like the history, and I was like, oh my God.
So she went on your laptop.
She went on my laptop, and I knew it was her because it was her bank. She went to her bank, and people on Facebook, because at the time we didn't have Instagram, it was Facebook, people on Facebook that they were like her friends. Like,
and did you confront her?
I was like pissed, horrible, like so mad.
Yeah.
I remember at that moment, like a sorority, they were trying to recruit me, so they were like, come and sleep here. I talked with I don't know I forgot the name. The person like of the hall, like the RA from the hall, something like that. And because it's literally violation of your personal property. At the end, they kick her out from the room, and that room stayed only by myself. Amazing, but it was like really really bad day because our process was really long. And when I saw her, I told her like, you can't imagine what I told her. It was horrible, horrible. I remember I was like, why did you take my laptop? Like, you have your own laptop.
That's so bad. I think I've never had something like that. In fact, one time I wanted to sublet my room, like I was away, so I was like,
yeah, why not?
And one of my friends told me, "Are you really gonna allow a stranger into your room? If anything, put like a security camera, like a baby monitor." But I was like, I don't know if I want to do that because maybe if they do something, I don't want to find out. What if you're away and you see that stranger in your room trying on like your clothes or your underwear?
I will not.
And you can't confront them because you're not in the same country. But in the end, they're in your house and in your room.
Yeah, but I will not leave my clothes there.
But what are you gonna do with it? Store it for 2 weeks.
Okay, you want it like for a
yeah, like a short. Yeah.
Oh no.
I didn't do it in the end.
No,
I didn't do it because I didn't find anyone. And then I was like terrified, and I was like, do you have a friend that wants to sublet my room?
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
but
I have a friend of a friend. No, he needs to be like your cousin, your twin sister.
Yeah. No, but like having like a camera there, it's like weird. Like I don't want to sleep with a camera there in the room.
No, but you put like I think Airbnbs actually do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, they put like hidden cameras. I'm so
Okay,
sure.
maybe makes sense.
I would do it. I mean, I haven't done it, but I would do it for sure.
Yeah. No. Oh my God, with my sister.
Oh, well, yeah, there's no
There are no boundaries.
private space or,
No. My clothes. No, nothing. She was arriving and always telling me in the house, oh, Thea, I bought this shirt. You owe me this money. And I was like, why? Oh, yeah, because we will both use it. And I was like, I don't understand. No, my God, dating life with my sister there. But like, guys knew like if they want me like to flirt with me and they are going to my house, if they want to bring me, I don't know, a chocolate, they needed to bring 2 because my sister is nothing.
Your
easy.
+1.
My +1. And what happened if she didn't like the guy that I was dating? I have the most. I don't know if I can share this story. I was like with a guy that I was dating.
Natalia.
No, I'm telling you, like it's hilarious nowadays when I see. No, I really get mad still with her, and I was with him.
He could have been the one. He could have been the one.
No. No, I don't think so. But yeah, normal. Like okay, he was in my room, blah blah, and she was like, she started to knock the door. Andrea, with whom are you? And I was like, Natalia,
go
I'm
away,
busy. Go. Yeah. And I was like, Natalia. Oh, you are with ex-guy. And I'm like, yeah, like, he should leave the house now. My God.
Kicked him out of the house.
Kicked him out. His face, my face, it was horrible. Obviously, after that, I never talked with that guy again. She kicked and he told, like, you should leave this house now, blah, blah. It was, mira, I can tell that moment was like the most horrible internal moment ever. Like, can you imagine being in the room with a guy that you are dating and then your sister telling him many horrible things and kick him out? Like, she still, like, I still, like, tell her and she says, like, yeah, I know that should be really bad.
Yeah.
That was really, really bad. I was like, yeah, Natalia, like, yeah, but yeah, that's part of our story and now we laugh and etc. But at that moment, I was so mad with her for so many days. When I told my mom obviously told her many things, etc.
Yeah.
Because it's like not in a gentle way, but there were no boundaries. And that was like the extreme of no boundaries.
Yeah, and making things uncomfortable.
How has it been when you have been like with your flatmates, when someone has come to visit you and has stayed at your place? Like, do you talk that before? Do you ask them for permission? Or how is that dynamic?
I always ask for permission. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that a lot of people just assume, and that's fine. some roommate relationships, it's like that's the rule and that's fine. Um, for me, I always like letting them know because I like when they let me know.
Exactly.
You know, it's not ideal when eventually someone shows up and they're staying there and you don't even know until when they're gonna stay there. And especially, I feel like because spaces in London are smaller, it really affects the dynamic to have someone else.
Yeah, sure.
It's like you can accept it. That's nice. You know, it's always great to have someone visit. And obviously, you, in the same way that you would do it, your roommate's also going to do it. The doors of your house are open to anyone that you care about and that's visiting. That's great. But I do think it's important to let the other person know.
Yeah, yeah. I always ask permission. Like, it's normal. Like, here we are foreigners. We have friends that come and visit. I always let them know, like, a heads up. Hey, this person is coming. Or, for example, even nowadays, like these days, like my flatmate Alicia, she has like one of her close friends from Indonesia visiting us, and she literally told me, "Hey, my friend Bella is coming." It's like, yeah, amazing, and she's working there with us, and we're talking. So it's like, it's cool, but yeah, she let us know, and obviously the friend is super organized and organize everything. Or couple my cousin when she came, or my friends, like it's normal. Like I bring people, but that's I have always said, like with my flatmates and more in London, it's like, hey, I'm not from here. Mainly all my family, my friends are they are live abroad, so when they come to London, it's normal for them to stay with me. So for me, that's like an important thing, that people can stay over. But I know there are houses where they don't,
it's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
It's not allowed to stay over, and it's also not allowed to invite people.
Like not even like friends, like for
not
coffee
even
in
like
the afternoon.
no get-togethers at home. Because when I was looking for a place to live, it's more difficult to get chosen by like
so hard. It's like
a roommate
so hard
than to find a job.
100%.
Yeah. So when I was looking, everyone was so picky. Like no sound, no noise after 8. No flushing the toilet after 8.
What happened if you have diarrhea?
And I'm like, imagine. I mean, I go to the toilet all the time. No inviting people. No, like a list of no-goes. And I mean, it's your home. You want to do whatever. I mean, quite flexible, right?
Yeah.
But then it happened to me when I was recruiting, when I was looking for a roommate. Because my friends even joked about like me potentially not finding anyone because I was being too picky.
What were your must?
My must. My number one must was that the person could not work from home at all. They thought that was picky.
Yes.
Is it picky?
Obviously, I work from home most of the time.
Well, but then you couldn't have lived with me there. Because we had a small living room. I was working from home, so the other person could.
Yeah, you can, but the other person can't.
I was living there before.
Okay.
You know, that's the rule. That's the rule. No one says it, but it's there.
Yeah, it's
the
there.
person that lives there first sets the rules.
So the person cannot work from home. Okay, rule number 1.
The person that would speak Spanish. They had to speak Spanish.
Okay, so at least start to...
They had to be nice. Like, when I met them in person, they had to give me, like...
Yeah, but that's normal. Yeah, that's not picky.
Like, it had to feel similar.
Yeah, like a good vibe.
Those were the 3.
Yeah, but the first 2 are quite picky.
Yeah, and I found Paulina.
Yeah.
And I loved her.
And now you live in the house?
And that's interesting because I lived with Paulina. She's from Argentina. In the same flats where I lived with this girl that I was always eating in my room, trying not to...
Okay, it was in that one.
It was in that one. So that shows how the person that you live with can change completely the experience 100%. And your approach towards the space that you're living in.
Yeah. You're like in this flat now, like in the previous one. At first, we were like, okay, but then we're really different. I was really different with my previous flatmate. And at the end, yeah, many things happened, and she didn't, like, we didn't end up in the best terms. And now with my current flatmate, like, we both work in the living room, we share time together, but we all both have our personal space. So it feels more like a good vibe house. But yeah, it changes a lot, like many things. Yeah, it gives a different vibe. But for example, like, you have passed from living with someone that was the horrible person that you don't want to live, living with someone that it was like super nice and meeting your specific list of requirements, living with different cultures, etc. And now you're living with your partner.
Yeah. And I think the biggest difference is that when you live with a friend or you live with a roommate, it's like you're doing your life, I'm doing my life. We just happen to live in the same place in a way. Yeah. Obviously, it can be friends, it can be close, whatever. When you live with a partner, the dynamic is quite different because there's more of a togetherness element, like a teamwork element because of the relationship. Obviously. So it's not like I'm gonna do my laundry and you do your laundry. Because exactly. I didn't do my laundry, my roommate's laundry. No. But now we do laundry together. Or sometimes when I had roommates, they would cook their dinner, I would cook mine, and eventually we would cook together. Now most of the time we cook together. Exactly. But then it's like the setting of rules happens in a different way. How? Because you move to that place, and then it's like, what am I good at? What role am I going to take in this living dynamic? For me, it was like very organic. It happened very naturally that, he would do certain things, I would do certain things. Like, I don't like doing laundry. He does laundry. I love cooking. I was cooking. Both of us would put like things in the like wash the dishes and stuff. That's fine. I make the bed every single day of my life, and I like picking up things, and after I use them, putting them back on their place, except for clothes. But everything else, like I don't like having like shoes around and dishes around, and I have like repisas, shelves in my living room, and everything needs to be like in the perfect position. Yeah, that's so. If it moves, I'm gonna notice. And for me, having an organized house is like the key to my mental health. And for him, it was completely different. He wouldn't mind like having his shoes all over, coming back from boxing and taking off the gloves and throwing them on the table, having a glass of water, putting the glass there, and then getting another glass and putting it next to it and collecting glasses. And I told him from the first day, that ends today. Like the things that you use, you put back to where they go, or else we're not going to be able to coexist in this place. First, because my mental health's going to collapse. And second, because if you don't clean it up, I'm not going to clean it up after you, then who's going to clean it up? Was he receptive on that? It was progressive. Like he would try. It took me a lot of repetition because I knew that if I started doing it myself, that would never change. No. That would be like my role forever and ever. And it's not great. I still do sometimes like pick up the things that I find and I put them like in a corner, and I'm like, everything that you left around, I put there for you to find the place for it, which is quite annoying because my dad used to do the same for us and I hated it. But I mean, it's the only way that's worked for me. It's normal. You're human beings and you're picking some stuff. That's for you what like it gives you mental I don't know, mental stability, mental like calmness, having things organized. Yeah. So if you are living with the other person and he's like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to do it because it doesn't take him anything. It's just like, but it's like learning to do it to adapt to the other person. And you also like, yeah, that happened when you live with your romantic partner, but also when you live with a normal flatmate that you need to, there are things that you are able to negotiate and there are things that you are not able to negotiate. The negotiables and the non-negotiables. So the things that you need, you will talk to them in a different way. And even I'm very controlling in many ways. And even like decorating the flat or choosing the position of things in the kitchen. Yeah. He would be like, this is the perfect spot for the microwave. And I'm like, oh no, that's not at all. So in a way, it's also letting go and being, balancing that out. And looking back at when I lived with roommates, I would have wanted them to be a little bit more flexible. Because I would show up there with like a picture of me and my siblings. And I'm like, where can I put it? No space. And she wouldn't move anything. So I had to like put my frames with my pictures in my room. And that was sad. So obviously, you want to make it their home as much as it is yours.
Yeah.
no matter the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is that with your partner is sometimes you need to negotiate with a flatmate. It's more difficult because I don't want to see pictures of your family in the living room. Maybe
Exactly.
like, and she doesn't want to see my sister in the living room. Maybe like I don't know those things I have it in my room just because it's like my personal thing. But with my sister, it was like, for example, when I live with my sister, yeah, we had rules, but it's like if she didn't do it, I was not like educating her. I was like, Natalia, clean it, or she was Andrea, clean it. With a friend, you cannot say that, or even with your romantic partner, like in theory, you cannot say it like that. With your sister, it's more like doesn't matter where she's gonna be there, but it's more like you need to adapt to the person and try to understand which things you want to negotiate and which things are like you're not negotiables.
Yeah. And you go by stages as well. Like sometimes, there are moments in life where you can't be asked. You're like, I want to cook and I don't want to clean.
Yeah, totally.
That's fine. Eventually, you'll clean it. Mm-hmm. But it can't be the rule. It can't be the habit that everything that you use ends up being like around.
Exactly. Like
except for my room and my clothes. I can't have either because I'm very tiny. I have steps to reach the top of my closet, and the steps they lost their purpose because now it's like the place where I pile whatever I try on and I don't end up wearing, so I just pile it there. Step. If I have a chair in my room, it's gonna be
that's a thing always.
So I figured I just can't have anything in my room because I'm gonna use it for the wrong purpose to justify how disorganized I am. My closet is a mess and it will always be a mess. That's the only thing where I'm like,
no, I put my closet. My closet is perfectly organized, and if I don't see it that it's organized, I throw out I put everything out and I will reorganize it. Like for me, my closet is my calmness. But in the chair of my vanity, I try this shirt. I don't want it. I put it in the chair of the vanity. I put it in the chair of the vanity. And I'm like, nah.
Well, I had a roommate once when he's a guy. And I did laundry. And then he took everything out of my laundry and put it like in a basket. And I don't know why I hated that.
Me too.
I was like, why are you touching my underwear?
Yeah.
Like, that's no. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, that's a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to me, even with flatmates. Like, why are you taking things out? It's my personal stuff. Like, don't do it. But now that you said guys, you know what? When I lived with the two guys, I had my ensuite. It was perfect. My room was huge. The house was enormous. Like, it was really cool. But those two guys, it was like so good. Living with two guys, I loved it. Yeah, they were not even.
Did you share the toilet?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we didn't share the room in the bathroom.
Share the toilet with a guy that needs to shave his beard?
No. They have their own. I had my ensuite room, but like overall in the kitchen, etc., they were both like clean. Like they were like super respect me. Like I never felt like I don't know.
Yeah, like
not in a
not comfortable.
No. In that house I always felt like super calm. It never felt like home. But
you knew it was like temporary.
I knew it was temporary.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
talking about like laundry and stuff. When I lived with roommates, I would like be so on time with my laundry. Like as soon as it was done, I would take it out so the other person could do their laundry.
Yeah.
Now because we do laundry together, it could be there for 3 rounds because we forget about it and then it's like, it stinks, so we need to wash it again. And then we leave it there. Yeah. I just forget.
No. I'm picky with the laundry. And here with in London with all that.
And obviously, if you wash something and you leave it in the, because we don't have dryers in London, you leave it in the washing machine. It smells like
and now
and with the weather,
and it happens here nowadays with the weather. You can put it in that drying rack
and it smells humid.
It smells humid, and I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I need to wash it again, and the house always looks like that, like a camp with all these clothing hangings in a drying rack. It's like, oh my god, this is crazy. But for example, like, I've never lived with a partner before. Like, I've lived with many people, many type of people, but I've never lived with a partner before. Like, what will you recommend? Like, if I tell you, hey, Valentina, tomorrow I'm going with a partner. Give me 3 recommendations because I think it's different.
It's a tricky one because I actually have a friend that's moving in with her partner, and she was asking me for some advice, and I had none advice to give. For real, I think it's just every relationship is different.
Yeah, that's true.
Every person is different. Just communicate. Like, I don't like it when X. Can we do it this way? Can we? Mm-hmm. And the other way around, because it's not easy to live with oneself. You know.
Yeah.
There are so many things that I've improved, that I've changed, that I've had to do differently.
You need to be more tolerant. Tolerance. You need to tolerate more
and do some introspection, because not everything is on the other person. At least he hates how I put how I stack things in the dishwasher.
Yeah,
I do it like a criminal. I'm just like, trying to fit as much as possible. And he's like an architect, like everything's perfectly positioned. And I'm like, I can fit more. Then I run the dishwasher and everything comes out dirty. Obviously. I never I know that you're supposed to wash things before putting them in the dishwasher, at least rinse them. But I don't do it because for me, that's like the complete opposite to the purpose of the dishwasher. If I need to rinse it, I might as well just wash it.
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes I don't do it, but sometimes I rinse it. It depends on the mood.
I never rinse it. I'm lazy, and then it's dirty. El flojo trabaja doble.
Exactly.
The lazy ones
work double.
And
then you need to put double cycle, triple cycle.
And a lot of soaps, the pots.
Oh my God, I bought 50 pots. They are just lasting a week. Valentina with 5 pots there.
So funny enough, we just had a toilet break. And
oh my God.
And when I go to my room, I see Paul there, and I'm like, what are you doing in the room? Like, he's never in the room. And he's like, well, where else can I go if you guys are recording in the living room?
Personal space.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't very happy about it. Yeah. But yeah, now, before we end the episode, we were just realizing that when you have a roommate and you have difficult situations that happen, an incident with the flat, or something that's unfair with the landlord, or financial decisions. If you get they increase the fee for something. All these little things you need to resolve as a team, and obviously each person has different qualities and different approaches to the situations.
When I was living with Shadia in Bogota,
I love how Bogota in English is Bogota.
Bogota. So we were living in our flat. In that flat, we were doing parties all the time.
In the messy flat.
In that flat, no, our flat. We had someone that helped us a couple of times a week. That were such characters, and so we were doing parties all the time. And there's a week in Colombia in October that schools are off. So her sister, my sister, were at the time at school. They went that week to Bogota. It was also her cousin that is one of my best friends. Also another cousin that is also a good friend. Our house was full. People sleeping in the living room, in my room, in her room. It was full, the house. We had parties because we were going out all the time. And we were one day, we went out for lunch. Then we went back to the house and we were napping. Literally, let's have a nap. And one friend woke up from the nap and started to see was gonna put the feet outside from the from the mattress, whatever. Water.
No.
There was water crazy going out from one of the toilets. Water crazy. All the flat flooded. It was wooden floor, so the floor started to pop,
to raise.
No. And you're okay, what do we do now? So our friends went we need to act now. We need to take all this water. We were able to stop. Yeah, we were able to stop the water. But we're like, okay, we have two options. Or we get stressed out and we don't do anything, or we just take the water out from here in a really nice, funny way with all this mess. So they all went and bought like a lot of like I don't know, things to take the trash, brooms, mops, etc. to take water. We just wanted the water out from the flat. We didn't care anything else. So we're taking water out from the flat, out.
The stairs like a water.
And then that stairs were on waterfall. We didn't care about that. Obviously, they received complaints because. And we're like, okay, we just need to laugh. So we have pictures. I'm gonna try to put them here, at least one. We're like making fun, like enjoying that moment. We're always like drinking a water at the end, then doing that. And it's always like this fun story that her mom still talks to me about it. And we still remember this day in the most like stressful but really good way. Because it was like a funny moment and a stressful moment at the same time. But as a flatmates, we needed like, hey, we need to sort this out. Oh, the house was completely wet. You know what was the issue?
What?
There was
too strong in the toilet.
No, a shot.
A shot.
A shot of like a glass shot, plastic glass shot in the toilet.
No.
Who did it? We never know. We will never know. Maybe it was even an accident.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
no, because I bet it was like an accident, fall down and put it down. Like we can tell, we were like drinking the whole week. But yeah,
crazy.
And with that, I have so many stories in that flat. But we can write a book.
We can write a book, and because we can write a book, this will have to be split into more episodes coming up. For now, I think the key takeaways are that if you're living with a roommate and you want to make the most of it, understand that you don't need to be best friends.
No.
And that's fine. But it's also nice if you take the time to get to know the other person. It's going to make the experience a lot nicer, and it's going to make your home feel a lot more like a home. Also, communication. Bring and raise anything that makes you uncomfortable, that you would appreciate if your roommate would do different.
Roommate, I can tell you, friend, no new person, or even your romantic partner.
Exactly. Anyone who happens to live with you before it becomes something bigger. And, you can always save the conflict, which having a conflict with a person that you live with, it's never nice. You don't have anywhere to go and escape.
No.
And the final one, I think it's also a lot of introspection and reaching out to the other person to ask for feedback. Not feedback like in a formal way, but like, is there something
that I'm doing
that, you want to talk about? Is there, I don't know, whatever it is that you're thinking about.
Sometimes you just prefer to stay silent and not talk about the elephant in the room, let's say.
Exactly. And hopefully that will make the experience be a lot nicer and joyful.
And create memories in your house. And try, despite living with a flatmate or whatever, trying to create your home. Your house, a home.
Yeah. And if you're living in one of those flats where someone used to live, like your flatmates used to live before you got there, bring that portrait, frame, decoration, carpet, whatever it is that you like, and go and put it there in the center.
Yeah.
And if you have a Gothic clock, suggest removing it because that's your home as well.
Yeah. Get into the things that you both like, and it's your home. It's a place where you spend most of the time.
Don't eat the last egg. Don't eat the last egg.
Yeah, please don't do it, because sometimes you want to arrive and eat the egg and you don't have it.
Don't steal the toilet paper.
No. But you can.
People do that.
Yeah.
They've stolen my toilet paper so many times. I would buy the 6-pack just because it's the one that I could carry walking from the supermarket. I would use one roll, and eventually I would have like 2 left. I don't know if she was giving them away. But like, don't.
No. Put your limits, and if you want to buy something and you find it sweet, buy it for ×2 if you share your grocery shopping. Yeah. That's the best way.
And roommates are a lot nicer than we think. Like a lot more open to allowing you to borrow things, to whatever it is. Don't go into your roommate's bathroom and use her makeup.
No.
Don't go into the bathroom and use her creams and stuff. Yeah. People do it. You'd be surprised. And not me. Not me. Not me. Well, you sound like my friend. I'm getting too many insights. That's like, God, that's never happened to me. And I'm like, don't use the toothbrush. Yeah. Well, a cleaner came once to my place. And that's to close it. Yeah, just to close it. And that's what it is to have a good roommate. Mm-hmm. My cleaner came to my house. She was cleaning, clearly. Mm-hmm. And then my roommate comes home unexpectedly and she sees the cleaner cleaning the toilet with my toothbrush. No way. You didn't know that story? No. Oh, well, she was cleaning the toilet with my toothbrush. Oh my God, no, okay. And she was such a good roommate that she confronted her and she told me. Okay, with this story, that was the last, and I was so into her because not into her, but I really liked her and I pushed for us to work with her. You know what? She's from Venezuela, so I was like, yeah, woo. And then, shame on me, she was using my toothbrush. If you want to know more stories like these, you just let us know and maybe we can post some in stories and whatever. Yeah. And with this story, we're closing it. Well, we have more juicy stories for you. Yes. So, see you in the next episode. Yes, that's the next one. Okay, bye. Ciao.